Darth Nihilus, the Lord of Hunger, being so consumed by the dark side that he is no longer truly alive. He exists only to feed on the Force, on life, on the very essence of every living thing in the galaxy. In the original timeline, Nihilus consumed the planet KOTOR, killing every living being on its surface, including almost every surviving Jedi. It was an act of such devastating power that it shook the Force itself. But what if his hunger had led him somewhere else? Somewhere bigger? Somewhere with 1 trillion Force-sensitive beings packed into a single planet? What if Darth Nihilus had consumed Coruscant? Nihilus does not think as we understand thinking. He does not plan or strategize in any conventional sense. He feels. He feels the Force like a starving man, feels the smell of food. And Coruscant, the capital of the Republic, home to 1 trillion beings, is the largest concentration of life in the galaxy. It is a beacon in the Force so bright that Nihilus can feel it from across the galaxy. In the original timeline, he fed on KOTOR because the Jedi had gathered there. But in this timeline, his hunger is greater. His power has grown beyond what it was. The beacon of Coruscant calls to him like a feast calls to a starving man. He cannot resist. He must feed. The Ravager, Nihilus' flagship, emerges from hyperspace above Coruscant. It is not a warship in any traditional sense. It is a dead hull, held together by Nihilus' will and dark side power, crewed by beings whose lives have been drained until they are barely more than automatons. The Republic fleet defending Coruscant moves to intercept, but something is wrong. The crew of every ship in the fleet begins to feel it. A cold, an emptiness, a growing sense that something terrible is approaching. By the time the fleet opens fire, half the crews are already weakened, their connection to the Force being drained by Nihilus' mere presence. The battle lasts minutes. When Nihilus feeds, there is no battle. There is no resistance. There is only the hunger. He reaches out through the Force and begins to drain the life from every being on Coruscant. All 1 trillion of them. Senators in their chambers feel their strength leaving. Soldiers at their posts collapse. Children in their homes cry out and then fall silent. The Jedi Temple, the last stronghold of the Order on Coruscant, erupts in desperate activity as Jedi Masters try to shield their student. But there is no shield against hunger itself. One by one, the Jedi fall. The lights go out across the planet. In a matter of hours, the brightest beacon of civilization in the galaxy becomes a tomb. After Nihilus finishes feeding, Coruscant is not merely dead. It is empty. The Force itself has been drained from the planet, leaving a wound in reality that can never be healed. The buildings remain, but they are tombs. The speeders sit in mid-air lanes, their pilots dead at the controls. The Senate chambers hold the bodies of 1,000 senators. The Jedi Temple holds the bodies of the last Jedi on Coruscant. And above it all, the Ravager orbits its master satiated for the first time in years. But satiation does not last. The hunger always returns. And now, having tasted the greatest feast in galactic history, Nihilus' hunger has grown beyond what it was before. The death of Coruscant sends shockwaves through the galaxy. Communications go silent. Trade routes collapse. The Republic government, which was centered on Coruscant, simply ceases to exist. Without the Senate, without the Chancellor, without the bureaucratic apparatus that held the galaxy together, individual systems are on their own. Some surrender to the Sith immediately, hoping for mercy. Others fortify their worlds and prepare for the worst. The Jedi Order, already weakened by the Jedi Civil War, loses what little remained of its strength. The few Jedi who were not on Coruscant scatter into hiding. The galaxy is leaderless, hopeless, and terrified. The consumption of 1 trillion beings transforms Nihilus. He is no longer merely a powerful Sith Lord. He has become something else entirely. A god of hunger. A cosmic entity whose power rivals that of the most ancient Force beings in galactic history. He no longer needs the Ravager. He no longer needs a body. He is pure hunger, pure dark side energy, a wound in the Force so large that it distorts reality around him. He can now feed on entire sectors of the galaxy at once. Not individual planets, but regions. Not thousands of beings, but billions. The hunger that consumed Coruscant was just the beginning. With his newfound power, Nihilus begins a feeding frenzy that spans the entire galaxy. The core worlds die first. Then the inner rim. Then the expansion region. Each sector falls in days, its population consumed to feed the growing hunger. Nihilus is not conquering the galaxy. He is eating it. The Sith, who thought they were the masters of the dark side, realize too late that they have created a monster they cannot control. Sion, the Lord of Pain, attempts to challenge Nihilus and is consumed in seconds. The dark side does not protect against hunger. It feeds it. The Sith die alongside the Jedi, alongside the Republic, alongside everyone. Within a year of consuming Coruscant, Nihilus has devoured most of the galaxy. Entire sectors are dead zones, devoid of life, devoid of the Force, devoid of everything. The few survivors hide on remote worlds in the Outer Rim, praying that Nihilus does not find them, but he always finds them. His hunger is infinite, and it will not rest until every living thing in the galaxy has been consumed. And when the galaxy is empty, when every planet is dead, every star system silent, every being consumed, Nihilus will still be hungry. He will turn his gaze outward to other galaxies, to other dimensions, to whatever exists beyond the void. The hunger never ends. It only grows. This timeline is a reminder that some powers cannot be controlled. The Sith created Nihilus, but they could not destroy him. They fed him, trained him, and unleashed him on the galaxy, never imagining that their weapon would turn on them. Nihilus is the ultimate predator, a being that feeds on life itself, that grows stronger with every meal, that cannot be reasoned with, bargained with, or defeated through conventional means. The only thing that could have stopped him was the exile, Mitra Surik, whose wound in the Force made her immune to his hunger. But in this timeline, the exile never left her exile. She never faced Nihilus, and the galaxy paid the ultimate price. This has been Noctvara Studio. Subscribe for more dark timelines from the Old Republic era.